What's up, guys? I'm going to talk about the latest information from NASCAR Heat 5, a video that was dropped by Ed Soundhead. He gave me permission to use his video, so thank you very much. I appreciate that. I'm going to put a link in the description to the video, to the original video, and go check out his channel and, pay him some respects. So without further ado, I'm going to get into it. As you can see here, NASCAR Heat 5. Let's get started. I'll talk about my thoughts as we go through the video. The main stuff, as you can see here, it's the same as last year. You could pick your driving experience. This changes your settings. Expert will remove all of the assists. As you could see here, there's a new user interface. You got your My Career, Race Now, Online Multiplayer, My Driver, My Cars. And what I like is in the background, you have the cars, they change. So it's not just a static image. So that's pretty cool. It's a nice little change. It's subtle. It's nothing big, but I like it. And you can see the same thing here. Test session, challenges, championship, split screen, which, does anybody really use that? I'm sorry, man, but I just gotta know. Challenges, test session, championship, and as you could see, the car in the background still changes. This is different as well. And here we are. You can pick you can run your own custom season, and we had this last year, but you had only a couple of options, and they were sort of pre-made seasons. You really couldn't have a fully customized season, and that is what they've changed this year. So they give you these options here, or you can, as you will see, run any schedule you want. You can run as many of the same races as you want, any length. You can have playoffs or no playoffs, and any length of a playoff. So pretty much whatever you want, you can do. You name the season, as he's going to name it here. He's going to do, just for show, he's going to put up Super Speedway Stupidity, and it's all going to be Daytona, Talladega, all 36 races. But just to show you that, yeah, if you want to do that, you can. Why anybody would want to go through that torture, I don't know. But there it is. You can do what you want. That's the way to do a proper custom season. And even here, you can have playoffs or not. Yes or no. So this is the way that it should have been from the start. But what really matters is we're finally here. This is good for a lot of people. They should be happy with this. And this was a big complaint last year when it came out. It was like, okay, but we don't really have control over that. Now you got test session. You got, all 4 series, of course. As you could see, it's a different user interface. And here's another cool thing. In the test session, the cars are actually test cars with no paint scheme. So it looks cool. I like that. That's a cool little unexpected detail. I like that they did that, And it's cool. I mean, I like the way these cars look. And here you're going to see some of the customization. This is one of the new fonts. As you could see here, no changes, no additions to the templates. So, I'm going to stop it right there for a second. They did say, according to Ed Soundhead, when you go check out his video, he'll explain. He said that they said they're going to add templates down the line. Didn't say when, and it's going to be like in some update or multiple updates. I don't know. It just sounds to me like it's in the air, these plans. There's nothing concrete. This is the type of thing that pisses people off, and it bothers me because you're asking people to pay full price for really what is essentially NASCAR Heat 4 with some minor updates. And you can't even add a few templates. And you're actually just promising people, yeah, at some point you're going to get new templates. That's not acceptable. And this is the type of thing people look at when they say, why should I get this? And what really bothers me in particular is that there's a focus on DLC paint schemes every year, which you charge extra for, which takes time and resources to make happen, but they never say, you know what, we really don't have the time or the resources to focus on that. Let's fix what's in the game. They never do that. It's always the other way around. Whatever we do, we got to get that DLC paint scheme stuff out the door. Yeah, there are things that need to be addressed in the game, but whatever. If we get to it, we get to it. If we don't, we don't. I know that sounds cynical, but that's the bottom line. That's the truth. Ever since this DLC garbage started in the gaming industry, it really has helped ruin a lot of the gaming industry. So it bothers me because they're charging $50 and then a $70 gold version, and you're going to have all the future DLC update. But we don't know what templates, how many templates we're getting, when. It could be a month after release. It could be 3 months down the line. It could be 6 months. We don't know. And by the way, I remember 2 years ago when they promised they were going to add templates with DLC, right? That was going to be like part of the DLC, right? Besides DLC paint schemes, they were going to throw in some templates down the line. Never happened. And I talked about it, I remember, and it was like, you can't promise things to people and then not deliver. Last year, they finally added one or two, I don't remember how many, a couple of templates. By the way, one of those templates, which I actually kind of liked, it had like this drippy paint, it's gone. I don't know if that happened during an update or whatever. It's just not in the game anymore. So I don't know what happened with that. I just stopped caring. But you can't do things like that. That's the kind of thing people look at and they makes them ask, why the hell should I buy this game? So I'm not happy with that. So I don't know what their plans are, when they're going to add this stuff. And they're probably just going to add 2, maybe 3 paint templates, whatever. Not thrilled with that. So I had to mention that. So now you could see there are new number fonts, which look good. I like them. That's a nice font. You'll see a couple of different ones now. That one's okay. Those are the ugly ones, right, from last year. There is something I'm going to point out, but before I move forward, I want you to look at this outline. This is like the ugliest font. However, it's like the only one, or maybe there's one other one that has a shadow outline, like this, a 3D shadow. All the other ones, okay, that one kind of has a 3D shadow. It's another ugly font. Now you look at these, and I like this one. That's a nice looking font, but it has that plain outline. And they all do. And I like these fonts. They're all slightly different, and they look nice. They actually look nice. But look, there's no 3D shadow like with the other one. There are different things you could do. I'm not seeing a lot of creativity. Now, I'm going to stop it here. If you notice, the paint just went from glossy to matte. That is an option here. That's a nice little touch. And it makes a difference, right, in how the car looks under the lights or even in the sun. So that's cool. I wasn't expecting that. But here's something that I noticed. I like the number fonts, but Is it me? Correct me if I'm wrong. Am I seeing things? But this number looks a little too small. It just looks out of place, like it's too small. It's like it should be bigger. The number should go from like up here to maybe here, where the pointer tip is. It should be bigger. It just looks small. I know that, if somebody at 704 is watching, it sounds like I'm really being a hard ass and nitpicking. What I want is that you guys pay attention to what I'm saying so that we don't make these mistakes again. I'm already looking down the line to the next game, the next gen. You guys are going to start from scratch. You guys are going to rebuild everything from scratch, new game engine and everything. The game you can't have these issues, man. That's why I'm pointing it out now. I'm being constructive, all right? I don't get any pleasure out of pointing this shit out, but I want you guys to understand this shit is unacceptable. And if I was in charge, and I was in charge of development or game design, whatever, these are the things I would pull people aside and say, this is unacceptable. We can't have this. These little details add up, and they matter. So, too small. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's too small. So, no new templates, but yeah, you could go matte to glossy. Here's the other addition I've been asking for years. We finally can color the wheels any color we want. It gives us more options, more combinations. Every little detail counts and it matters. So I'm happy they finally added it, but it took forever. And that's not acceptable either. These are day one options and details that should be in the game from day one, from the first game. You shouldn't take 5 games into a franchise to get this stuff. And it makes a difference. Now you can see here. One thing I want to point out while I'm at this point. I rarely ever talk about graphics. I've actually been very easy on these guys when it comes to graphics, because there's so many other details in the game that need to be addressed, and I felt when you play the game, it's serviceable. So, but I'm expecting a big leap in graphics for the next gen. We can't have games that look this unpolished. When you get this close to a car, you start to notice this is not high quality. Even the wheel, there is some detail missing. I can't describe what it is inside this inner part of the rim. Some shadow detail or some edge that you don't really catch here. And I remember in the old Utechnics games, the cars did look better up this close. And you could even change the color of the lugs. I'm not asking for that, but I'm just trying to explain to you that, even in older games, horrible franchise, but, they did do certain things that were more polished. The game, it's just got to go up in quality. But finally, you could color the wheels. Finally. And also the spoiler. That's a cool added touch. Okay? So, okay. They added some of the things I've been begging for years. But there still is a long way to go. We need more templates. And you guys got to get more creative. Or hire, people with an art background who can come up with just better designs. All of these templates, 90% of these templates are all just basic striping. And they change the way the striping is. And you got to come up with better stuff. and go deeper with it. And like I said, the number's too small, and all of the numbers have the same simple, thin outline. So I promise you, it's going to look better when you could change the color of the outline. But man, there's more things you can do. And when you look at the other cars of the AI, you can see the fonts are really unique. The outlines are unique. So I'm going to move on from that. So you can see there he went from gloss to matte. Now you got online multiplayer, the race leaderboard. Here is something that I think is an improvement as well. The challenges that we've seen every year is relegated to offline. And I always felt that they're just not worth the effort and the resources that are put into making them. Because to me, it's something you do once, you get it over with, and you move on. You don't do them again. However, because these are online based, I like this a lot more. And I do think that this is going to have more replay value because, as you're going to see with all these challenges, there are rankings and they're all even split up by difficulty, right? So you got, the hardest to the medium to the easiest, and you got leaderboards and previous rankings. So these things matter. These are the things that matter, that matter to people. This is why I talk so much throughout all the years about stats and how important stats are, because it does mean something. It's how you follow a career. It's how you measure somebody and their ability. And here you're going to have rankings. And people, they do care where they sit in the rankings. And I want to see if I can stay in the top 10. And if I get kicked out of the top 10, guess what? I'm going to go back and redo these challenges and try to better my previous lap time or whatever this is. So that gives it the kind of replay value that you don't get when it's offline with the challenge, right? And I like this. This is a positive step forward, just like with the custom schedule and even the additions that I've been begging for with the number fonts, the coloring, the outline, the wheels. So we're seeing some of the things they said they worked on and added, and this is what I've been wanting to see, but we didn't get everything today. So we're going to move forward. And some of the things we didn't get to see today, which I hope to see in a future, now, real quick, let me just, sorry. All right. I went back too far. All right. I'm going to show you real quick. Again, one last time. I don't want to beat this to death. But you see how the outline of a number and having different colors makes it pop, and it changes the look of a car dramatically. This is why I love colored wheels too. These cars look awesome because the wheels are not just black. And look at these numbers. Look at these outlines. So that makes a difference. So now he's going to go and do a Talladega race. I'm not going to show you the whole race. I'm just going to show you the beginning because it shows the new camera angles. And the race itself, I saw the whole race. You'll get to see it as well if you go check out the video, which I hope you do. It's a simple race, and it feels like a NASCAR Heat 4 race. And I didn't see anything by the AI, which is one of the things we didn't really get to see, like how is it improved? Because in a restrictor plate race, it always kind of looks the same, so it's hard to tell if they did anything. And hopefully we get to see races on like a 1.5-mile track, which makes up the majority of the schedule. And I want to see the AI. Do they spread out more? Do they run different lines? Is tire wear something that affects them when the tire wears out, or are they still on a rail? Do they actually move from their lines? Do they make mistakes? I don't know what they worked on exactly, but this is one of the things they listed that is new and improved for this game. I want to see it. So anyone who has access to the game early, and if you're going to show more stuff, please show us some like mile-and-a-half tracks, or even, even a couple of short tracks, whatever it is. Show us the AI, and please show us the stat layout. I'm dying to see how it looks. Statistics has been a huge issue for me since I first started making videos 8 years ago, and till this day we're still struggling with something that's so basic in all games. So they say they finally addressed it and got it to where it's supposed to be, deeper, more immersive, broken down the way it's supposed to be. I'd like to see it. So here we go. The cockpit is the same. This is the old roof cam, right? So people wanted, not the roof cam, this is the hood cam. So people wanted a roof cam, so as you can pay attention, there it is. That's your roof cam. So honestly, it's not that different. It is a little slightly further back, but it's not that different. I hope you guys who have been begging for this roof cam, I hope you see enough of a difference here that you're satisfied. I don't see a big difference. I don't, I race strictly in cockpit mode, which is something that I'm sad not to see, a couple of different options there. And hopefully for the next gen, please give us the ability to customize the camera in the cockpit. If we want to get rid of the hands and the wheel and move the camera, like the field of view, change that just a little bit. It's next gen. There's no more excuses. Let's get this thing right for the next gen. So here we go from the roof cam, and you're going to see the old bumper cam, but you're going to see the new third-person view cam in a second. And I want you guys to pay attention. Okay? There it is. This is pretty cool, because the third-person view cam that we've had up to now, you're really up close to the rear bumper, and it blocks a lot. It really does take up a lot of the view, and it's hard to tell who's around you. And in this game, another thing that needs to be addressed is the spotters are horrible. They're useless. So that's something else that needs to be worked on. But with this camera angle, I think it's going to be popular. It looks cool. Look at this. When you move the camera around, it looks really nice. That's a good distance from the car. It looks good. I think people are going to be happy with that. So, yeah. This is pretty much it. I'm not going to show you the race, but, I like some of the things they worked on. Is it enough to convince people to get the game? I doubt it. I would be surprised if people who are saying I'm not getting this are going to get it for anything they saw here. That's just the honest truth. I'm going to support these guys. You never hear me say I hope another developer takes over, because that's the reality. These guys have this thing. They have it for a long time. It's not going to help matters to even go in that direction. I want to give these guys a chance. I do believe that their heart's in the right place. I'm just hoping that they're able to hire the people they want to hire and get everything in place and deliver on the things that they said they want to deliver on. And I really want to see these guys go and try to emulate a lot of what we're going to see with Formula 1 2020. Those are pretty much my thoughts. Let me know what you think. And I look forward to your comments. Later.